4 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. May I have an approval of the agenda?
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as stated.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All approve. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any public comment? No public comment? Okay, let's move on to the engineer update. JD?
Good afternoon, JD King, Page County Engineer. A lovely day in Page County, blue sky, slightly more gentle breeze from the north. Still that wind from the south. Engineer update went out yesterday afternoon-ish. We're hauling rock. We're blading in the districts. We got a crew doing some cold patch work. Pipe crew moved some equipment up to a bridge near Hepburn where we offloaded a couple of tank cars yesterday afternoon late. We're gonna replace a bridge up there. The single axle truck that we bought used, thank you very much, is ready to go. So they should be out spray patching tomorrow, I hope, and we'll do some work around Clarinda here close and make sure it's working. And then run it the rest of the summer. They're working on the other single axle truck up at Housby Mac in Des Moines. And once again, we're gonna try to get around to servicing more tractors. They haven't, it's been on the list and they haven't got to it for various reasons. And we'll need some tires for the mowers also. The spray rig's out, weed commissioner's out spraying weeds with the new spray rig on guardrails primarily, with some residual to keep the weeds down on those corner guardrails. The contractor putting the corner guardrail, the improved corner guardrail on the 3 J64 bridges got done last Friday. And the county has a little cleanup to do yet based on some modifications to the design. And we'll get to that. They're replacing steel on the Essex Bridge. We have a pre-construction meeting on Thursday and a pre-pour or a tentative deck pour on the 6th of May, which would be next Tuesday. So given the magnitude of that deck pour, I'm not certain if we'll be done by 4 o'clock. I hope so, but there's no guarantee. There's a lot of yards in that 454 foot long, 30 foot wide bridge deck. We're doing some design work on the Yorktown projects and other project development work on the program. And then I learned this morning that, well, this afternoon, I've got a contract crew in to do some crack filling on some shorter segments of Page County asphalts. Yorktown out here at the bridge east on East Washington Street, up Tahoe, and the back way around Shambach. Questions for the update? Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks.
I have a question for you, JD.
Yeah.
It's about time for the 4-day week to start. Have you taken a tally with all the secondary road employees to see how they feel about it? Because I've heard various things over the last couple of years, and I wondered if you would do a tally with all the employees.
I can do that. I've got the letter drafted, ready to go.
Okay.
To shift, but I can survey the
I
crew.
wondered if you'd survey with all the employees and see how they feel about it.
Sure,
Okay,
do that.
I think that'd be a good idea, maybe,
Okay,
if you wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind.
Okay. Okay, I'd appreciate it. And see whether we do that or not. Okay?
Was that something, did we talk about that?
We haven't talked about it.
Oh.
I just thought maybe we should talk about it. Is that a good idea?
Yeah.
Because I've heard varying things
okay.
over the last few years, whether they like it or they don't like it. Some like it, some hate it.
Just for the secondary roads or? is it for
Secondary road,
everybody?
no,
Oh,
secondary road.
Okay.
It's only secondary road, and
Yep. Oh, okay.
they either like it or they hate it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Sure.
JD can comment.
And it is more efficient how much work we get on a 4-10 schedule versus 5-8 schedule. In other words, we don't, and yes, there's various opinions among the crew.
Yeah.
Some people don't like it.
Yeah, I'm
Some
sure.
people like their Fridays off.
Right.
But basically, we do one less mobilization to and from the work site, because we don't go out on Friday. So I figure that's an hour, half hour out, half hour back. So there's an hour that we're not doing something else besides work. And then each day there's 2 15-minute paid breaks. So an hour and a half a day, or an hour and a half a week. We get more, theoretically, we get more work done.
Theoretically.
Well.
Some feel they do,
and-
some feel they don't, so, yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
But I can survey the crew,
Okay, if you would,
but
yeah. I know some like it, some don't like it, and, yeah, whatever.
and that includes both workers and managements.
Well, management doesn't change anyway, I mean, they work,
Well,
We expect you to work all the time.
yeah.
the engineer's office people don't
Engineer
change
works normal, yeah,
5/8, yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
I'm talking the supervisors of the crews.
yeah,
They work 4-10s also, if the crew's working 4-10.
Yeah.
yeah, so anybody that works 4-10s, I guess, needs to be surveyed,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, thanks, JD. Appreciate that. Okay. Our next thing is we have a thing from Michelle Spinagle from Conservation to discuss action, disposal, and purchase of capital assets, conservation John Deere mowers. It's 2 John Deere mowers, 2017, 2014, to purchase, and then trade in. And Michelle's not here, is she? Yeah, I've got them. Yeah, trade in and purchasing a 2017 and a 2014 to purchase, and trading in, there's 2 $14,500 John Deere, each $14,500, and trading in a 5,250 and a 4,450 for trade-in allowance of $9,700. So the balance is $19,300 due. Payment on new equipment is due 30 days after factory delivery date. The date accepted was April 22nd of 25. $19,300. So we need an approval of this date.
Are those zero turns, or are they, is that what they,
One's a zero track,
oh, okay.
the other one is. Yeah, this is, both of them are Z tracks.
Okay. Z-Tracks.
Did they send that to us? An email? Oh, must have missed it. Oh, it did? Okay.
Okay. May I have a motion on this?
This just comes out of their
This is out of the conservation budget.
conservation budget, okay. I'll make a motion that they approve purchasing those 2 mowers.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye, okay. Motion approved. Okay, all approved. Okay. Pouch that, okay. Our next discuss action, bid or sale of engineer building and any other county property. Okay, and we have our county attorney, Jim Farley, here to visit with us about this.
Under the Iowa code, to sell real property, which is what the engineer building is, there'll have to be a resolution in favor of looking into that and holding a public hearing to determine whether there are any comments pro or con regarding the sale of that property. Once that meeting is held, the Board of Supervisors will be able to receive bids. Usually we do that at the same time as the public hearing. Those would be opened, and then after the public hearing, the board would be able to vote on whether to accept a bid. That's not the only way you can do this. You could also do an auction. The method by which you sell the building is really up to you, as long as it's designed to obtain a fair market value. The building can't be given as a gift to anyone. The only way you could be able to dispose of it as a gift would be to another governmental entity. My understanding from talking to Kristen is that and JD, you probably know this, that I think we've been using that county building since '81. So for 45 years, it's been the administrative offices of the county engineer. At this point, they've moved to the annex, as I understand it, and we don't really have any use for the engineer building. In those circumstances, the city, or rather the county, would be able to sell that to someone else. I don't know what exactly method you would like to use. The other questions is, if we go with a bid, should we set a minimum bid so we don't wind up giving the property to someone for $5? I think that even though we don't have a use for it, and it's probably going to cost the county some money, I don't know that we also don't want to give it away to somebody for like $5. The other issue is whether we want to give a warranty deed or a quit claim deed. My experience doing this kind of thing has been as a city attorney, and most of the properties we were selling were ones we obtained that were basically disaster zones that we were just looking for someone else to tear the building down. This building, to the best of my knowledge, needs remodeling, but it's still got a good roof and still fit for business purpose or habitation. So I think it's valuable enough to sell either by auction or by bid. Has there been any interest expressed, anybody on the board about this?
I just had a question from a banker. Someone had asked a question from them that was interested, but I don't know what for.
Okay. getting back to, when I did this as a city attorney, usually we would be obtaining these properties through some kind of condemnation process. So when we sold the property, and I don't think I ever had a property that sold for more than about $4,500, we provided it to them with a quit claim deed because we didn't do a full title search and that type of thing. If someone's gonna be paying substantially more money than that, then they would probably expect a warranty deed. I don't know if we have an abstract. I think Kristen's gonna look for one in the vault. The other thing is, we've held on to this building for 45 years, so I suspect we have clean title. But we could do a title search on that as well to make sure that no one's filed some kind of lien or something on the property.
I'm pretty sure there's probably an abstract down there. And I think in the past, we've always done a quitclaim deed. So how do you feel about a minimum bid for this?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
Minimum bid. I don't know what that should be, but
We've had a couple,
I know you had a realtor or something looked at it, right? Or somebody gave us
somebody gave us
the
something,
estimated value.
an estimated value, so I think that, you know, we could mention that to the county attorney, and if we wanted to use that.
What would the amount be? Or we don't know yet?
Do we want to say that out loud?
Well, we'll have to advertise it. When we advertise the property, one of the bid terms will be the minimum bid we would accept would be $4,500 or whatever it is.
The assessor did give us a number.
Okay, we can use that.
Do you want me to
We
give
can
that to you?
talk about it offline. You don't have to tell me now. The other question I have is this, I just don't know whether we have a system by which we normally take bids. I'm just always very cautious because I want to make sure the rules are accurate and we put them out to the people when we do. Part of this is doing a publication where we publicize for bids. Within that publication needs to be, you know, the minimum bid we'll accept and the method by which they're going to submit their bids. When I did this as a city attorney, the city clerk would receive the bids. We had a form that the bid would be written on, and then that would be placed in an envelope, sealed, date and time when we received it. And then when we had the public hearing, after the comments were made, and there was a decision that we were going to sell the property, at that point, we would open bids and then award the bid to whoever was the high bidder on
So when
that.
we did the jail,
Yep.
the auditor's office accepted all the bids.
Right.
Yep.
And that's
Right,
what
that's what we usually did, yeah,
okay,
yeah. But,
And we're happy to help with whatever.
right, but I can tell you what the amount was that the assessor,
okay, we can talk about that.
I mean, do you want me to tell you now?
Sure, I think that's fine.
Okay, he suggested 52,140.
And then I've only had this happen once, but I had a case where two bidders made exactly the same bid for the property.
Oh, wonderful.
And we basically got into a gentleman's agreement that we resolve it with a coin toss, but I don't know whether we have any procedure for that either.
Yeah.
But it may be worth giving some thought to, so we don't have in a gentlemanly, in a gentlemanly way, but again, these properties were not very valuable.
Yeah, but if we would just do a minimum bid and a quitclaim deed and a sealed bid, and just go from there.
And would you like, I can get a resolution put together, we could do it at the next Board of Supervisors meeting if you would like to go that quickly.
I think it sounds like a good idea. How about,
Yeah.
Okay, so what will happen with that resolution is you guys will make a decision that we're gonna explore selling that building, and it will authorize, we'll have to do a publication. Then sometime, I think it's 4 and 20 is the rule there.
Probably, yeah.
So sometime between 4 and 20 days later, we have to advertise it, and then, so the following month, we can do
Okay.
the public hearing and then the vote and bid opening.
so if you would, Kristen, you'd have to get it into the paper tomorrow?
Well, we have to,
I mean, or we'd have to do the
We have to
resolution
do the
first?
resolution
Have to
first.
do the resolution first, right?
Roger.
So we'd have to do that next week.
deadline.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is there no interest in the board for listening with a realtor?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Can you,
His question is, has there been any interest in maybe just listing it with a Realtor?
I don't think we want to do that. I think we just want to do it through us and do a bid. Yeah, because then we'd have to pay the Realtor. So this way, we'll just do this.
Okay.
I think so. We need to do the resolution next week.
It can be ready.
Yeah, and then have to get it in the paper after that. So if we do the resolution next Tuesday, can we get it in the paper then the next day? So then we could do it like on the 14th. That would be, if we get it on the 7th, then we could do it on the 14th. Would that be enough time? That would be for May 14th. We'd get it in the paper on the 7th. I would get it to the paper on the 7th. In the 14th paper. Publication. Right, and then maybe have it ready on the 21st. Does that be all right?
I think that'll work.
Okay. Okay. So the bids would be open on the 14th, or the bids would be open on the 20th then.
20th.
Okay. That sound good?
Sounds good to me. Subject to your questions. I have nothing else.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Okay. 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 Board communication.
I've got EMA and E911 tomorrow. It was scheduled yesterday, but they were worried with the weather that probably wouldn't be a good idea, so we rescheduled for tomorrow.
Okay.
Landfill meeting Thursday.
What's that?
Have a landfill meeting Thursday.
I had a wellness meeting today. Okay. Okay. Okay, anything else? And we will be working on redistricting before long, so. Okay, the next item, meeting minutes of the 22nd. Do I hear a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as stated.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes approved. Okay, and if nothing else to discuss, I hear a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion adjourn.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned at 4:23. Okay.